Raquel again, and I'm back here in my backyard today. And today I just wanted to take you on a garden tour. I started growing things probably about a couple years ago, and it really kind of started out of a way for me to kind of understand where a lot of the food that I was eating was coming from. I have a pretty small garden. It's nothing extensive, and I am by no means an expert. So I am an amateur grower, but I just wanted to show you today how easy it is to get something started if you've ever thought about gardening. And now's the perfect time to do it with the weather and the rain that we have right now here in my particular part of the country. So if you want to see what's in my garden, stick with me and I'll take you around here in just a second. So the first stop on my garden tour is going to be this little small herb garden we have going here. So in the small pot here, I've got basil, and that was started by a little person. The little person started the basil here. And then over here in this small pot here, we've got some cilantro that she also started. So little person has about 2 herbs going right now. They're coming along pretty nicely. Back here, these are going to be some herbs that I got from our local gardening store that were already started. So right here we have some thyme. Back here we've got some basil that's just going crazy already. And then in the very back here we've got some rosemary. And I use a lot of these herbs. It smells so good in a lot of the different things I cook. Thyme is wonderful in my chicken pot pie dish. Basil, we do a lot in our pasta dishes. We'll also get some basil and chop it up fresh on our fresh pizzas that we make here. And rosemary, I love rosemary with chicken. And then I also love to throw rosemary in roasted vegetables that I may be doing in the oven. So over here, we're gonna walk around some flowers that I've planted and I've got here on the patio, and they seem to be pretty happy. And then we're going to go over to the garden box right now. So like I said, it's a pretty small garden, nothing extensive here, but in our garden box this season I have this plant here, which is our tomato. And I don't eat a lot of tomatoes, but my husband loves salsa, so I said, well, if you like salsa, let's do some tomatoes this year. We've got the cilantro over in the herb garden, so hopefully that'll come together to make a pretty tasty salsa for him as we get the tomatoes in. Right here, this is a pepper plant, and let me just say these 2 plants here were already started. I got them from my local gardening center, already started as plants, and we just put them into the garden box here. But these are going to be some peppers, and I've never been good at growing peppers, so I'm hoping this year I actually get some off of this plant. I'm gonna take you over around this way, and this is going to be our squash. This was looking really sad just about a couple weeks ago, and then we had a full day of rain this past weekend, and these 2 plants have just really flourished. So I've got some green squash, zucchini squash over here, and then over here I've got my yellow squash. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes from these 2 plants because they were looking really sad. I was kind of worried they wouldn't make it. Some things that have not come up yet, which we have to see if we will get to grow from seed. I planted cauliflower right here and some green onion right here. So I haven't seen anything come up from these yet. I've had a few little creatures that have wanted to play in my box, so I don't know if my seed got dislocated or what, but we'll keep an eye on these 2 and hopefully we'll get something growing on those 2 seeds that I planted. And then to finish out our garden tour today, I've got this okra plant here, as well as a bell pepper plant. And one of our neighbors, when we were walking the neighborhood, just had out on her curb some plants that she, had started, I guess, from seed, and I guess didn't have any use for them. So we got 2 free plants here, so we're going to see how these 2 come along this season. And then the last thing I have over here in the box is garlic. I was reading online that you could take the bottom piece of garlic and just replant it, and it would maybe start regenerating a new thing of garlic. So that's what's over here. We'll see if anything comes of that, not quite sure. And that's our garden tour. Well, that is my garden tour for this season. So if you have a garden, I'd love to see your picture. So please leave me a photo or a video. Make sure you tag me in it so that I can see your photos. And I just look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Take care and stay well.